say, bang 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 bang. Hey, hey,
all
hey.
them a try, them can't deny.
Young boss,
Nation, youth are feel
young boss, young boss, young.
Alright, Sinners, welcome back to the channel. Just real quick, this is Marvel's What If review. I'm doing both episode 1 and 2 because, to be honest with you, they're not long. So one review could probably be 5-6 minutes. So I was like, you know, I could make this like a 15-minute video and just combine them both. So I'm in love with this series. I'm not gonna lie, like the concept is dope as fuck. And like I love how they're interacting all and every character they can get their hands on. Like how, which I'm gonna talk about a little bit with the second episode to Marvel's What If featured T'Challa as Star-Lord, and they used a lot of side characters that you wouldn't think get attention and love, but they actually do. So, you know what I'm saying? Like that's dope. So running down real first, what is Marvel's What If? Marvel's What Ifs is basically the concept of, as it says, what if? What if one situation happened that changed the whole future of Marvel? You know what I'm saying? So using both episodes, the first episode is Captain Carter, and that's essentially Peggy Carter, who was the spy Steve Rogers was in love with. What if she became Captain America? And episode 2 is what if T'Challa ended up becoming Star-Lord? You know, Star-Lord is Peter Quill. What if T'Challa filled that seat? And I think they got some other ones that they're gonna feature. Like there's supposed to be an Ultron one, where I guess what if Ultron takes over? There's on the poster screen. There's one where Gamora's wearing the Thanos suit, the Thanos outfit. So I'm assuming this is what if Gamora stayed with Thanos or was loyal to Thanos or whatever the case might be. You know what I'm saying? So they're just taking concept of one situation, flipping it, and then making a whole multiverse out of it. You know what I'm saying? Or a whole other scenario. And the only reason I said multiverse is because I'm assuming like when they actually do the multiverse, which you know Doctor Strange's multiverse of madness, I'm assuming that they're actually going to use a lot of the concepts for the what if situations in that storyline. So it would make sense because they wouldn't have to really tap into anything else. They could just use a bunch of what if storylines, and then that's multiverse gold. You know what I'm saying? Just that concept alone. I know you seen a little chain, my Gengar chain. I just wanted to show y'all. You see my Gengar chain. Gengar. Speaking of Gengar, Pokemon Unite coming soon. Look out for that. But alright, just jumping in the first episode. The first episode, like I said, is about Peggy Carter. She becomes Captain Carter. Captain Carter? It is Captain Carter. And in that what if situation, it's what if Peggy Carter becomes Captain America, and this actually happens by in the episode we get the story of Steve, but what it is during the process that turned Steve Rogers into Captain America, a gentleman was, and I'm not sure what it was supposed to symbolize. I wasn't sure if this symbolizes he was a spy. I think he was a spy, but I don't know how it really came about. But what happens is he goes to pull out a cigar as the process is going on, and Peggy she actually sees him doing this, so she stops him. And as she's stopping him, it's revealed he's a spy. So he starts shooting up people, starts fucking with the process, and in the process, and while that's happening, Steve actually comes out of the chamber, and he runs at the dude trying to stop him with his frail ass, and he pops him. He pops him in the shoulder blade, so he's not dead. But he pops him in the shoulder, and he gets knocked back. So Peggy runs to him, and the general who's in charge of the situation, I don't remember his name, but the general who's in charge was like, I need somebody in that machine now, despite the situation going on, because you could have put that dude on his ass and taken him out, arrested him, whatever the case might be, and then finish the process. But he didn't want to do that. So he's forcing somebody to get into the chamber, and Howard Stark, who is Tony's dad, he's actually there. So he wants Howard to get in it. Howard's like, I'm not doing that. I'm the science guy. I'm not touching that shit. So Peggy volunteers herself by jumping in and doing the process, and Howard assists her, and she pops out as Peggy Carter. I mean, Captain Carter, you know what I'm saying? She's a little bigger, a little bit, nothing too major. She's the same character built. I want to say just slightly taller and a little more muscular, but same built and everything. So as the story goes on, essentially what happens is we're following her footsteps into the Captain Carter role, and for the most part, it slowly follows the whole Captain America. Let me see if I can get my shit to line up. It slowly follows the Captain America aspect where we see her training and we see that she's kind of getting into it where she's able to do stuff with the shield that Howard gives her. The same situation where Howard gives her the outfit. Like the outfit that Captain America got in a shield that, if I'm correct, was given by Howard was also given to Carter. So it's just Carter's getting the outfit now. So he tailors the outfit that was made for Steve for Carter, and then we're following her as she's taking out a bunch of Nazis as Captain Carter. You know, she's doing her thing. But we find out that she manages to get the one of this mission, she ends up getting the, actually before that, she ends up saving Bucky, with who Steve goes, that's my best friend. And she saves Bucky, and now Bucky and his squad are like Carter's freedom fighters or some shit like that. So what it happens is they end up getting a Tesseract. I forget how they get the Tesseract, but they get the Tesseract. Excuse me. And Howard uses the Tesseract to make the OG Iron Man suit, but just teched out in like World War II ish. World War One. I don't know what Captain America. I think that's World War Two. So he makes this super dope OG Iron Man suit, but it's got what was the signature thing? I think it said C1, CO1 or some shit like that on the chest plate right here. It says CO1. So he makes the Iron Man suit, but you think, okay, so Howard's gonna get an Iron Man suit because, you know, Tony gets an Iron Man suit. But what we actually find out is that it's for Steve Rogers with his, you know, his, because he's frail, he can't really do shit, so he's gonna put him in the bulky ass Iron Man suit. And I think they call him Nazi Buster or Nazi Kicker or some shit like that. I think it was, yeah, I think it was something cuckoo crazy like that. So they put Steve in the suit, and I like that because it's kind of still showing that whole Steve and Tony dynamic where it's like, okay, so if Steve don't become Captain America, he becomes the first Iron Man, which is like, oh man, that's cute. You know what I'm saying? Y'all best friends. You obviously, you're gonna take your best friend's role before you knew he was your best friend. You know what I'm saying? So that happens, and it turns into a whole Captain Carter, Steve Rogers in the Iron Man suit, Bucky's in the freedom fighter, but Bucky and his crew doing the whole defeating the Nazi thing. We're actually getting a chance to see Red Skull, and we know he's doing the same. He's usually doing the same thing he was doing the last movie. The only difference is because he no longer has the Tesseract, he's going about. You know, he no longer has the Tesseract. So what he was doing was he was going about, trying to use that Tesseract. He wanted to use the Tesseract to kind of bring out, what was it? He wanted to summon a demon. I guess it was a demon. He wanted to summon a demon into the real world to seize the world, and if he couldn't seize it, then destroy it just like that. That eventually leads to Carter's gang. Kind of, actually before that even happened, he wants to summon them, but as we know, the hero's gonna go after him. But before that, we actually get tricked into thinking Steve dies because on one of the missions, they're on the train, and we find out that, well, they use Steve to stop the train. Well, not stop it, but slow it down. And what happens is they send Steven first to go on the train because he's in the big bulky seat, big bulky suit, and we see that it's like a bunch of missiles and dynamites and explosives. So it blows up, and we're meant to, because Carter and Bucky and them get out, but we're meant to believe that Steve dies. So as they're finally going to go, all right, we're gonna take the fight to and oh yeah, and that's how Red Skull ends up getting the Tesseract back, is by beating the shit out, not beating the shit out, but blowing up Steve in the suit so he can take it. So what happens is that Carter and the team are basically staging this final assault against Red Skull because she's like, even if we don't just even though we don't stop, like, oh, my boy, yeah, it's, she said exactly, even if we don't beat Red Skull and the Nazis now, at least we stopped a master plan. We can win the war later. Yeah, it was something like that where she was like, I know exactly what the premise was. It's just I don't remember what she said word for word, and it was essentially that we can beat them now. We just won't win the war now. But as long as we can get that overall victory right here and right now, then we're straight to winning the war. So they're going and attacking the base. You know, we see them stealth. Well, it wasn't really stealth. They was stealthy in the beginning, and as soon as Peggy joins in, then she starts bodying everybody in sight. But we find out that Steve's alive. He's just tied up, and we find that Red Skull actually summoned the demon. It's just not fully in our world yet. It's like halfway in, halfway out. So they're doing that, and Bucky saves Steve and all that, and he ends up joining the fight. And it's Carter, Howard, and Steve that's fighting a giant space tentacle demon. You know what I'm saying? And they saved the day. The only difference is it ends in another way of her getting to our time, modern time, which is she pushes the demon back to where it came from or where it was summoned from. At least that's what I believe. And she says her goodbyes to Steve. You know, I still owe you a dance and all that goodness. And she goes to the portal. And we find out that and then when she goes through the portal, she ends up in like the laboratory thing. And we find out that that's the modern day future, and that she ends up with Fury and them in modern time. All right. And that's it. That's how the what if story ends. Now, part 2, which is T'Challa and them, it's the shortest one, but it's like, to me so far it's the shortest one because it's not in depth, but it really is the most beautiful. And we essentially go through T'Challa as Star-Lord, and how that happens is basically we find out T'Challa as a kid wants to be an explorer, not in outer space or anything, but just on Earth. He wants to explore and not be stuck in Wakanda. And we find out Yondu abducts. Yondu end up abducting. Well, no, it's not Yondu. Yondu allows his subordinates to go find Peter Quill, and they bring him to T'Challa instead because they're fucking retarded. Because apparently the white kid looks like a black kid, which is retarded. But you know, do you? So Yondu, instead of saying dummies and get the right kid, he goes, "Well, kid, you seem like you got a pretty tight head. Your head screwed on right. You know, you want to explore the world, but why settle with the world when you can explore the universe?" And he does that. He adopts T'Challa, and it's like T'Challa is apparently the better Star Lord because as soon as the show starts, it's the same heist where they get in the Tesseract. You know, when in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, I think it was the Tesseract. The Tesseract was in the little ball the stasis ball. You didn't know what it was. It's the same scene, but the character that stops him, the black dude, like goes fanboy, not even fanboy, fangirling over T'Challa and talk about, "Oh my God, you're Star-Lord." Should I be honest? I'm gonna bow. And it's funny because it's like that character was an asshole in the original movie, so it makes sense that he would still be an asshole now, just different. And I guess T'Challa got that effect with you see brothers and T'Challa like that hood nigga, you know what I'm saying? That well educated, well loved, pimp daddy OG hood nigga, you know what I'm saying? Cause he just go everywhere and all the black people love him. That my man was on his D heavily. So he ends up fangirling over T'Challa. T'Challa whips their ass, steals the Tesseract, but then feels bad that he had to beat up his fanboy, so he kidnaps him and recruits him into the Ravagers, and he becomes the new guy. And as they go to the bar to celebrate their victory, they go over, they're retelling stories, and the new guy just casually drops, "Well, what happened when you beat the Mad Titan Thanos?" And then Thanos literally pulls up next to him and go, "Well, let me tell you about that." He is like, and T'Challa goes, "Well, a good conversation. What he said, a good argument or a good debate can always beat a war or a fight." And we find out that he fucking recruited Thanos to the Ravagers, which is like, yo, bro, what? And then they casually call Thanos Mr. Genocide or Captain Genocide, which is fucking crazy because it's like, this is Thanos you're talking to. Like, how you gonna talk to the OG? Like, this man is supposed to be bodying niggas for the slightest of things, that he's a Ravager and chilling. And because we found out that he recruits Thanos into the Ravagers, that turns into this whole what if. It's a what if scenario that I guess it isn't the fact that T'Challa became Star. Well, yeah, I guess it is the fact that T'Challa became Star-Lord, but it also hints at the fact that if Thanos stops being the Mad Titan, and everything in the universe changes, because we see that as Thanos joins the Ravagers, he's no longer trying to do the Mad Titan I'm gonna snap half of the finger thing. I mean, I'm gonna snap my fingers in half and the universe goes, which is the joke, the running joke. That's why they call him Captain Genocide. Because they're like, yo, I'm pretty sure that's still just genocide. He goes. And they're making fun of it because everybody in the real world, like in our, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that watched the Avengers movie was like, this motherfucker's just talking about genocide, bro. What the fuck? So they go, yo, that's genocide. And he goes, no, it's not. Cause he's not genocide because I'm only destroying half of the thing, and then the running gag is, and it's effective. And I'm like, yo, bro, that's fucked up, bro. And we find out as Thanos becomes part of the Ravagers, Drax's family don't get killed, so Drax ends up working at the bar that Peter and them go to. I mean Peter, T'Challa and the rest of the Ravagers go to. We also find out Nebula has hair now. She's fire. And I guess she's like a con artist or her own independent contractor because she's not working with Thanos. She's not a Ravager. She does her own thing. And I guess her and T'Challa got a thing going on, which is I ain't okay, I heard you. So she basically recruits them to go steal for the Collector to get this tree. I forgot what they call it. I'm very forgetful with names, but it's basically a tree that's gonna do the exact opposite of what Thanos wanted to do. Thanos wanted to snap his fingers and take out half of the universe to make a population, to get more to the population that survives. While on the other hand, the tree, if you plant it on anything that has been destroyed, if you plant it in general, if you plant that tree in general, the tree is gonna grow and double the supplies. So they were saying if you plant the tree, if you plant the seeds of that tree in a desolated world, then all of the inhabitants, all of the what is the word I'm looking for? It's gonna flourish. There we go. If you plant it on a decimated world, it's gonna flourish 10 times over than they did it before. So it'll be wildlife and it can feed double the population, which is essentially that thing that Thanos was looking for, which is, I guess, is why it did not show up in the original. And then like Avengers, like that would have been much better than his whole genocide shit. So that's exactly what happens. They do the heist for the Collector. We find out the Collector is now the real OG. Well, not the real OG. He's now the new Kingpin, the Mad Titan, because Thanos quit, so somebody went to fill in the shoes, and it just so happened to be the Collector. And just straight, that's really it. It becomes a heist. And we find out that Yondu lied to T'Challa, told T'Challa that his family died, which they didn't. He said that Wakanda was destroyed. Wakanda wasn't really destroyed. He just wanted T'Challa to stay with him because, that's his kid. The Collector, essentially, I guess, ends up killing everybody. Majority of the Marvel cast, because we find out as T'Challa fights the Collector, he has Thor's hammer, a Dark Elf's knife, Captain America's shield, Hela's helmet that lets you summon knives and shit. So we found out the Collector's been hella busy, and that's really it. Like I said, it turns into a heist flick. It turns into a heist show, and essentially they're just stealing. That's it. Collector has the Black Order on his side, and that's really the whole. They go, they steal it, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying my hardest not to spoil it while spoiling it. Oh well. But yeah, that's really essentially it. At the end of the show, after the whole heist and everything, T'Challa goes back to Wakanda with his new family to see his old family, and we just get the whole instance of I guess he had the best of both worlds. Now he can also he got to adventure and travel the world and become a galactic hero and still go back to his family, which he missed desperately, and they missed him too, because the Collector had one of these ships you know what I'm saying. The very very end of the show, you see Peter Quill, the actual Star-Lord, and his pop shows up. And remember that in the MCU, his dad was collecting kids so he could power himself up. Not power himself up. Find a new body to live in. There we go. Because he was dying and getting old, so he needed a new body to thrive in. And since Peter doesn't become Star-Lord, the Star-Lord doesn't find the Guardians, unfortunately, we all know how this is going to end. So that's essentially it for both episodes. They were really dope. They was really cool. I'm really excited for the what ifs because it's just the fact that you get so much love and so much attention with all these fucking characters is fucking dope, bro. Like, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they literally gave side characters that you didn't expect to be any importance in this. Is just the dude that had one interaction with Star-Lord with the, he was like, "I'm Star-Lord," and the guy goes, "Who?" You know what I'm saying? It's like hilarious because they flip it when T'Challa shows up. He goes, "I'm Star-Lord." He goes, "Oh my God, Star-Lord." He just becomes the biggest fanboy talking about, yeah, you know, me and Star-Lord are best friends. You know? And like, I just love the concept of what ifs because the fact that they're doing this and they're able to do it so effectively and so dope and give me a storyline that I actually want now because I actually want a storyline of T'Challa being Star-Lord. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need it. I demand to be a comic. And it's just that's what they're doing, and it's smart. I think it's effective because you're giving us the what if situations, and as we all know, it's gonna play a bigger part in the MCU, aka Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, because it's got to. You know what I'm saying? It's something we can watch with no little care in the continuity because we can watch it and be like, okay, clearly Thanos, that isn't who Thanos is. Thanos probably isn't gonna change over a conversation, but we can still enjoy it because it's like, well, it has no real effect on the continuity. So fuck it. Oh well. You know what I'm saying? But that's really the whole review. My fault for being like a little all over the place. I'm still trying to process it while I can retain the information. I literally just finished the episode and I was like, I didn't do the first one, so now I gotta do the first one and the second one together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm all over the place. But y'all know how it go. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate the love. Not this video, but actually, no, fuck it, I'll do it in this one. We're getting close to 100 subscribers. I'm going to do a $50. I'm going to do two $50 gift cards for Amazon that I'm going to do in a giveaway after we hit 100. So after we hit the 100 subscribers, you know what I'm saying, get my ass to 100 subscribers and you guys might be able to win a $50 gift card is what I'm trying to say nicely and effectively without being an asshole. But after we hit 100, I'm going to do the whole giveaway. I'll tell you guys how to win, and it'll probably be like in the next 2 to 3 weeks. That way a bunch of people got time to enter, if anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do the giveaway and it's like a week and then, you know what I'm saying? So after we 100, the giveaway will start. Y'all guys got 2 to 3 weeks to do whatever I'm gonna do for the giveaway. And at the end, I guess like at the end of the month, I'll announce the winners. You know what I'm saying? I might be lucky and I might be nice and throw in a third winner. You know what I'm saying? I might, depending on how I feel, depending on the money I have. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it'll be more in depth in the next video when I actually have time to figure out how to explain it. But just to let you guys know what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? So, giveaway happening. Like, comment, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Get me to 100 so we can actually do the giveaway. Please and thank you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to promise you guys a giveaway and I'm not at 100 and you still waiting. You know what I'm saying? So after we hit 100, I'm gonna do the 100 subscriber special. Talk about the giveaway more in detail when it's fully fleshed out, and we'll go on from there. You know what I'm saying, you guys? So you guys enjoy your day. Thanks for checking out the review, and I'll see you guys next time.